Hi, this is Nathan, your neighborhood arcade and pinball talk guy, and today we're going to be discussing a conversation that keeps popping up in the subject lines of MAME arcade builders on Facebook groups, all the way to other formats of the groups of Arcade1Up and AtGames, which is how is AtGames disrupting the market right now for Arcade1Up and Toy Shock and some of these other companies? Well, you know, AtGames just went ahead and launched an open source arcade cabinet, which they've been in production with, but now they're doing it with pinball. And that pinball machine is obviously going to be able to run FX3. It's going to be open source for VPX potentially with some of the publishers and the content creators through that. Future pinball, so they're really changing the game here. So how does that impact Toy Shock and Arcade1Up and companies like that have a fixed format licensing kind of setup? I think that changes the game dramatically. How does Arcade1Up compete with that, where you could just download games ultimately through the AtGames platform, right? So I see some things changing here with Arcade1Up. Obviously, licensing is going to be a big thing for Arcade1Up moving forward. They want the licenses legally to be able to put the games out. But furthermore, I also see Arcade1Up competitively trying to go after this space with AtGames. I feel Arcade1Up is going to change their format to be more open source. I mean, think about it, from MAME to, you know, all these other kind of downloadable kind of setups, and figuring out ways to allow that on their cabinets. There's ways to do it. Arcade1Up just has not done it yet. So will they go Wi-Fi based open source? I think yes, from what I'm seeing. The competition is showing the direction is going that way. So the big question here is it going to be a pay to play, or is it going to be a subscription service? I kind of like both formats, actually. Think about it. Like AtGames, the way that they're doing their pinball setup is they may have these content creators from VPX and Future Pinball actually finally starting to get paid. They deserve a little bit of payment, let's just be real, for all the hard work they put in designing these games. I mean, these games are beautiful on these formats. So the reality of the situation here is that, okay, they're going to finally start getting paid. How do they get paid? Well, I think AtGames is really going at this in a way of maybe doing a pay per choice. In other words, you want a game, you pay $8 to get it, kind of like a Zen or a Steam kind of setup integrated. But I also see them kind of going subscription based. I think that you pay a subscription, you get unlimited games. Right? I mean, come on now. I mean, would you pay for that? I bet you would if you had an AtGames cabinet. But see, for Arcade1Up, they have to start getting into the game. They have to start competing here. They have to start open sourcing and open formatting their hardware, allowing licensing on it as well. Don't get me wrong, licensing is hardcore. You know, these license holders, they do not want the stuff going out there. They want to get paid for it. So anything they have licensed is going to be specific, whether it be Marvel or whatever. There's never going to be an open source cabinet with Marvel on it or anything else. However, Arcade1Up now has the opportunity to maybe do an open source cabinet and help out the Pin Nation and the Arcade Nation, right? So, I mean, it all makes sense. So, Arcade1Up, I think, will go Wi-Fi. I think Arcade1Up will go to a point where licensing is paid per click and or through subscription. I also think AtGames is going to do this first. They're online, and I guarantee you they will be bringing this out in the next 6 to 12 months based off of the projection that I'm seeing with AtGames and what they're doing with the developers of these games for V-Pinball and stuff like that. So anyway, that is my take at Arcade and Pinball Talk. What is your take? Do you think they're going to be supporting it at AtGames and Arcade1Up, Zen, and all these other things? I mean, from what we know, AtGames is going to be doing that. They're going to be trying. Do you think Arcade1Up will compete? And if so, that's good for us in Arcade Nation and Pin Nation, because that allows us to have the ability to get these games and play them and enjoy them, right? I mean, that's what it's all about. Anyway, comment below. What are your thoughts? Again, if you like our content, please do us a favor. We do this for free at this point. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Share it with your friends. We do this for free. We're just doing this for fun, just so people could have something to talk about. We all love gaming. We all love arcade, main building. We also love pinball. So, I mean, let's talk about it all. Anyway, thank you again for watching today. This is Nathan, your neighborhood arcade and pinball talk guy, signing off. Till next time.